So, how you doing? It's been a while. So, I got a quick question. Okay. So, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were just discussing something that made me really, well, it made me question things. One of the things that we talked about is it's really funny when somebody says there are things that is simplified in aspects, but they are not able to explain to me or anyone else why certain subjects they are fearful to talk about or they feel uncomfortable to talk about. Okay? I've talked about everything from AIDS to drugs to suicide to sexual abuse, even death. Okay? But what really amazes me when adults who are supposed to be logical can't even sit down and explain to me without being fearful and being obnoxious on subject matters that makes me laugh. I am a grandson of educators. I am a nephew, a son of educators. But when somebody asks me a question, I answer it with logic and with precise, without no fear. But when you ask somebody a question that is something simple, but they can't answer it or even state it because they are uncomfortable to feel of this issue, then I wonder how are they brave enough to confront issues with their own children and with their own families. I'm not. I've confronted people when it comes to alcoholism, drug abuse, the homeless, death, elderly abuse, and on and on. And people are still frustrated and fearful to talk about it. But when people are fearful to talk about it or they feel uncomfortable talking about books and social injustice, I start wondering. It's something that is very personal. Until you walk the same path as the people you criticize, until you've been in their shoes, not for a day, not for a week, not for a month, but for a year plus, then you can criticize people. Why am I talking about this? Because it's really amazing that when I talk to people, that they're cringing. They're fearful to talk about the subject matters that is important. Before I leave you, I want to tell you this quick story and why this is reflective. A few years ago, a person I know was so fearful to talk about death that they said everything possible, hostile intent, hostile words, hostile everything, because they didn't want to hear it. Years passed. Somebody in their family approached me because I was the only one other than other people who was brave enough that he respected. We talked, just me and him, nobody else. And I asked him the truth, and he said, I was scared of dying. I'm scared that I'm a pitiful husband. The reality is that he was ingrained. He was told that to be a real man, you gotta be this or that. It took him years because he didn't want to talk about it because he was scared. People today are so afraid to talk about subject matters because they are told to keep it quiet. What happened to this man? I finally helped him. His family got the help they needed. But the point was, people like that out there who says, let's stop books from being put into libraries because it feels uncomfortable for them to talk about the subject matter. I don't want to talk about drugs in our schools, sex, and so on and so on. They feel uncomfortable. Here's the reality. The uncomfortableness creates problems. Success to helping others starts with people talking to each other, talking about the hard subjects. That's the reality. Why I know? Because people talk to me. Even when others in their family are scared to talk to me, or others who are scared to talk to other people, people finally realize the reality of conversation starts with, can we talk? That's it. And I've talked to a lot of parents about books being taken out of libraries. And what really amazes me, because it connects to people who don't want to talk about AIDS, who don't want to talk about diseases, who don't want to talk about poverty. Reality is fear of the unknown is so powerful. They find other people to listen to because there's always somebody similar to them. But the same people who are fearful of the subjects or feel uncomfortable talking about those subjects are the same people that is being hurt because they're fearful of the situation they're in. So do me a favor. If something is uncomfortable for you to talk about, think about it. If you're scared to talk about something that's very important, like AIDS, like sex, like drugs, like poverty, and for me, mental health, for a lot of people, they talk to me about those. Ask for somebody that you trust and just talk. The first things that break down fear and hate is an open conversation. If you think I'm wrong, tell me. But the reality is, no matter what you believe in, no matter what you feel, it takes one person just to say, can we talk? So if you think I'm wrong, hit me, tell me. But for now, take care and stay safe. And do me one favor. Keep charging and keep smiling. That's all we can do. So take care and see you later.